This is part 6 of my book review of Military Facts and Fallacies by Morphing Reality, aka Patrick Zelensky. Put this back in the sheath so no one gets hurt. Today we're talking about chapter 4, page 24. A couple of issues here. It's called the vampire fallacy, which basically means that the essence of war has not changed, only the method of delivery has undergone a transformation. And then he mentions the Korean War. Alright. The Korean War, 1950 to 1953, the United States, the UN, fought against North Korea. I was trying to seize South Korea. And ultimately we ended up fighting the Chinese on the ground and the Russians in the air on McGalley. It's up here. Excuse me. This is the first war that America fought to not win, for political reasons. And it's a little bit later, we have Vietnam. Another war that we fought to not win. So this established the precedent. The idea was, let me get my pointer. Let me try to set this up so I don't make you all motion sick. North Korea invaded South Korea out of nowhere. They almost kicked the South Koreans and the U.S. military presence out. We were pushed all the way down to the bottom, to the southeast corner, called the Pusan Peninsula. Now, we did not have many troops there to begin with. We only had maybe a few hundred. Japan, however, we had conquered just 5 years earlier. We had a lot of troops there. MacArthur was in overall command, General Douglas MacArthur. He launched a bold move, and he landed troops around the flank at Incheon. And when he landed those troops at Incheon, he cut off the supply lines of the North Koreans, and he destroyed them. And then the North Korean army, the remnants, fled up to North Korea, up into northern North Korea, toward China. And China, they were putting out feelers that, hey, listen, we're not going to let you come up, excuse me, and kill our little buffer state, and then have your democratic, American, etc. views right on our border. China just won the Chinese civil war, and the communists had come to power, so this was all under Mao Zedong. So we pushed up against the Yalu River, which separates North Korea from China. We pushed troops up there, and then the Chinese, good to their word, they launched an attack into North Korea, which their buildup was impressive in and of itself. They managed to sneak a 200,000 plus man army, sources vary, into North Korea undetected. And the way that they did that is North Korea is mostly mountains. They moved only at night, and during the day they slept. They actually managed to get behind our lines through the mountains. We had no idea when we were in North Korea, toward the Yalu River with China. We had no idea what was going on, and then all of a sudden the Chinese did a mass attack. Estimates vary, but we killed about 60,000 plus North Koreans. I would need to look that up. Not North Koreans, Chinese. We killed a lot of Chinese, because what the Chinese did was human wave tactics. We would have a position. Let's say we had 100 men. They would attack it with 2,000 men, or 5,000 men, or 10,000 men. So again, they brought in an army of about 250,000, 200,000 plus. They would attack our positions. We would fight them all off. The first way, we'd use our machine guns, kill them all, like in World War I, actually. But then China, they didn't have much regard to life, even of their soldiers. So they kept coming in waves, and we would mow them down, and eventually we would run out of ammunition, and we would have to retreat. And what follows is the largest retreat in U.S. military history. We went from all the way up here, all the way back down to South Korea, right around the initial borders there between North and South Korea. And that's where we stalemated out with China in 1951. And we fought another couple of years just against the Chinese with using trench warfare tactics. Both MacArthur and Truman, President Truman of the United States, considered using atomic bombs. Because the reason we lost this war, we did not destroy the Chinese supply lines coming into North Korea. Had we destroyed those supply lines, we would have killed their army. Russia, under Stalin, supported Mao, and we were concerned that Russia might get involved. And we were concerned about escalation, so we did not bomb the Chinese supply lines. The Chinese were allowed to supply their army unmolested. And that's a big reason why, that is the reason why we lost the war, that and political considerations. MacArthur wanted to drop up to 60 atomic bombs on Siberia to destroy Russia's industrial base, northeastern China, and even he went so far as to say Beijing. But Mao had a famous quote at the time. He said, I don't care, something along the lines of, I don't care if I have to throw a hand grenade myself. We're not going to let the Americans establish an American territory basically on our border. Because the Chinese believe that our real intention was to take North Korea and to use that as a launching point against China. That's what China believed. So they were like, no, we're going to stop this. On page 25, you talk about the vampire fallacy. The main conclusion to draw from the vampire fallacy is that wars of the future will not fundamentally differ from conflicts of the past. I disagree because we, the general public, will be in a state of shock and awe. Shout out to Iraq. We will be in a state of shock and awe once we see the hidden military technologies that the United States has. And we're only going to reveal those technologies in a major conventional war against another great power competitor. In 2018, that would be China. And possibly Russia, the European theater. But I doubt it. They don't have the economy in order to do that. When you say that the essence of war has not changed, well, you had said that McMaster, citing Revolution in Military Affairs, an article from the 1990s, supposed to remove all barriers imposed by warfare. Slogans such as shock and awe, rapid decisive operations, whereas we now know, based on recent decades in the Middle East, that such slogans are deceptive and somewhat foolish. I disagree. Shock and awe actually did shock and awe the entire world. Russian generals have since said that they are glad that they did not have to fight us, that they were able to sit on the background, because they didn't know what we were capable of. So it really was shock and awe. We utilized blitzkrieg tactics to quickly take Iraq with the British and other allied contingents, mostly token forces, although the Polish, shout out to my Polish man, the Poles sent in a good amount of troops, which is cool. We really did shock them on all of them. And the other slogan, rapid, decisive operations. Well, I would say the 2003 invasion of Iraq was most certainly rapid and most certainly decisive. So I don't think that these slogans are, as you put it, morphing reality. Such slogans are deceptive and somewhat foolish. I do not agree with that, because I think that they speak exactly to what we're doing. They're overpowering, shock and awe, they're quick, they're decisive. No Vietnam quagmire. Although we did get stuck in a quagmire in Iraq and we're still in Afghanistan. But that's my, I believe, 6th review. Military Facts and Fallacies by Patrick Zelensky. I'm assuming he's a Polish. And He's at Morphing Reality at Minds.com. Check out Jody Roundhouse. Minds.com/Jody Roundhouse. One word. Jody spelled with a Y because it's a man's name. And let me know what you think. All right.